Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I rise to issue a general statement regarding the rampant abductions and enforced disappearances of Kenyan youth in the country. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of the Standing Orders 43.1, I wish to make a general statement regarding the rampant abductions and enforced disappearance of Kenyan youth in the recent past. Honorable Speaker, the Kenyan Constitution recognizes human rights as inherent and inviolable. However, in recent months, there has been a disturbing increase in abductions, unlawful arrests, and disappearances, particularly affecting and targeting the youth. According to the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, there have been over 60 reported cases of extrajudicial killings and over 71 cases of enforced disappearances. This includes a tragic incident during the protest on 25th June 2024, which resulted in several deaths and the abduction of at least 72 individuals. These incidences violate Article 26 of the Constitution on the right to life. Honorable Speaker, government agencies such as the Independent Police Oversight Authority, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, and the Inspector General of Police are tasked with preventing these injustices, but have been alarmingly slow to respond. These arbitrary arrests have also attracted concerns from the international community. Honorable Speaker, despite cordial interventions addressing the issues of enforced disappearances, the trend continues, threatening the stability of Kenya's democracy and the well-being of future generations. Urgent institutional reforms are necessary to ensure that the criminal justice system is responsive and adheres to the set constitutional parameters. As a signatory to the International Convention for the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearance, I urge that Kenya ratifies this convention in compliance with Article 26 of the Constitution to strengthen the national framework aimed at ending these inhumane practices. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
What's your point of order, Honorable Millie? Honorable Millie is not a point of order. Honorable Millie, what's your point of order?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm not too sure under what she read it, but I think I could raise an issue in relation to that, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to indicate, first of all, that I want to thank Honorable Njeri for that statement. And also just want to say, I know the Honorable Member is trying to distract her, but this is not the time for men to see young, beautiful women. You can see afterwards. Mr. Speaker, I wanted to inform Honorable Njeri that you are doing extremely well. Keep up on that path. You are doing well. You are a very young, visionary woman. You will do very well. You are doing very well. But having said that, Mr. Speaker, this is an issue that is beyond, all members of Parliament of goodwill should be concerned. Mr. Speaker, I've been concerned when I see the number of messages that you keep seeing of missing persons. Mr. Speaker, I do not know what is going on. I don't want to ascribe blame or whatever, but I think the government needs to take this seriously. There are very many missing persons, and I don't know what's going on. Every single day, I'm sharing, there are some which are young children that are eventually found, but there are adults that are missing, and we don't know what's happening that this is going on. And we need to, even if it means forming a commission of inquiry or whatever we need to do, there is a problem. There are enough people who are disappearing in this country, and we need to pay attention and take action.
Of course, this doesn't require discussion, but let me hear from the chair of Blue Economy, very briefly. This generally does not require us to go into debate because members, you have a chance to even bring a motion of adjournment. So Let's
Thank
hear-
you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And Honorable Speaker, I want to congratulate the Honorable Njeri for bringing that issue. And Honorable Speaker, besides what the Honorable Njeri have just raised on the issues of abductions in the country, Mr. Speaker, we need to look, and this should go into the Ministry of Interior, that we need to look into the security of this country. Mr. Speaker, some few weeks ago, an individual who is not even a Kenyan, but he acquired a Kenyan citizen, and we are yet to know how he acquired, came all the way from Ethiopia, that's what we were told, to Isli and killed almost 4 women. And the individual now has been identified that he's an Ethiopian, actually. How he acquired Kenyan citizenship, Mr. Speaker, it's questionable. Mr. Speaker, apart from that one, if you go to the pastoral areas where we come from, the insecurities in those areas, Mr. Speaker, is at an alarming stage. We need to look, even as we address this issue of abductions in the country, Mr. Speaker, we need to look at the general issues of security in the country, Mr. Speaker.
Yes, Leader, what's your point of order?
Honorable Speaker, this was a general statement, but I hear a lot of reference to abductions. Even the member on the floor, the chair of our Water and Irrigation Committee is speaking about abductions. But from what I hear, the examples he's giving is the work of criminal elements, like the person is speaking about, and those are issues I thought the member and all of us should, even as we express our concerns on the rates of crime in the country, that we must be careful and cautious that we do not use the floor of this House to admonish our security agencies, not even to recognize the good work. For instance, it took less than a very few days, Honorable Speaker, from the time the Isli killings happened to the time the young lady unfortunately was killed in Kilimani, for the DCI to apprehend the suspect, and even for the member on the floor to get to know. Therefore, describing all these things as abductions, I know it is politically expedient and very good for the public gallery to be speaking about abductions. And there's a trend, Honorable Speaker, I must say so, that today in this country, even people who are legitimately arrested by policemen are booked into police cells, known police cells, are produced before courts of law. Those are being described as abductions. Probably we should, even as we engage, Honorable Speaker, be able to define what is an abduction. You saw the other case, Honorable Speaker, only this week or last week. A wife to somebody is in Nairobi, is also married to another man in Narok. The husband in Nairobi reports that the wife has been abducted. So I don't know whether that was an abduction or is a case of people stealing other people's wives. Now tomorrow, if the Honorable Bowen moves to Marakwet East with my wife, will I report my wife as having been abducted? Or do I say I've been unable to do certain things that the Honorable Bowen has managed to do? I mean, Honorable Speaker, I was only pointing out to say that we must be careful as leaders because we have a national platform. The adjectives we use to describe incidences, when a murderer murders people, that is a murderer. When someone is abducted by criminals and the police apprehend, at least let us have also the decency to congratulate, and I want to take this opportunity to congratulate DCI Amin and his team of security officers in the operations department, because they have moved with speed. When the Kware killings were happening, Honorable Speaker, it took them less than a week to apprehend the suspect. But it took the police a very short time, the Kenya police, to allow that suspect to escape from lawful custody, Honorable Speaker. Those are the issues I would expect that as leaders we should be addressing. Commend our officers when they do well, encourage them to do better, to apprehend suspects, but also avoid the temptation to brand every other criminal activity as an abduction. And I know there are also elements among us who want to make all these things look like they're abductions by the police. Missing persons, I appreciate what MILLIE ODHIAMBO has said, Honorable MILLIE ODHIAMBO, that there are even missing persons who just disappear now, also found. There are those who are arrested, and they say they were abducted. Criminals must be arrested, and they will be arrested, and they must be produced before courts of law, as happens in accordance with our Constitution, Honorable Speaker. So I just want to encourage Honorable Speaker, since this was a general statement, that even as we engage, let us be cautious. Let us not use this opportunity to play to the gallery, to speak to what you think is politically expedient and will excite people out there. Let us be responsible as leaders.
Very well, Leader. Honorable Wayne, just take the next 1 minute. I'll just give maybe one more comment here and one more here, and then we proceed because it's not a substantive motion.
Yes, Mr.
Wayne,
Speaker,
proceed.
Mr. Speaker, I said, and I want to be clear, I said even as our security officers addresses the issues of abductions in the country, I have said, Mr. Speaker, the issues of insecurity and banditry, they must be addressed equally. How comes that it took almost 2 days before you get someone who, that Ethiopian guy who killed 4 women, it took less than 2 days, Mr. Speaker, to be apprehended and arrested. But in Kerio Valley, where we have insecurities, it has taken ages. There is no criminal, there are no bandits which has been arraigned in court. Why is it that the government is not addressing that issue like the way it's addressing these issues of abduction?
Very well. Let's hear from the Honorable Fatma. Yes, Honorable Fatma.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Speaker. I want to thank the Honorable Member for bringing this. You said it's not a motion, but Speaker, you find some of these things really bothers us as leaders, as Kenyan citizens. And I want to give my condolences or my message to the people who are missing the loved ones. And I tell them it's just a matter of time that they'll find their loved ones. Mr. Speaker, the other day we found out someone who has been missing for 2 years came back. And we are hopeful that some of the persons we are still missing will come back. A case I have, Mr. Speaker, is an MCA from my county that has been missing for the past 2.5 months. Mr. Speaker, we agree that security agencies are doing a tremendous job in this country, and we applaud them for that. And we agree with them
Honorable, please make it short. We are not debating.
Mr. Speaker, thank you for that. But I am coming to this House again that we are still missing an MCA for 2.5 months. We have called the former Interior Minister, the recent, and the IG and the DCI, and we are yet to find the MCA. As we bring out this statement, Mr. Speaker, we also need to talk to the security agencies that some of these things need to have a closure. Yes.
Very well. Chair Agriculture, we shall bring you in. Later, Chair Internal Security, and in fact, you should take your call.
Honourable Speaker, thank you very much.
2 minutes only.
Yeah, thank you very much, Honourable Speaker, for the opportunity to speak to this. Honourable Speaker.
Leo tuko hapa cereal, tunapeana seeds ya sunflower. Kama wakaaji wa Narok, tumefurahia sana hii program ya serikali kuu ya kwamba wako na program ambayo wanafanya pilot ya sunflowers seeds kwa wakulima ili tujaribu sunflower. Kwa miaka mingi iliyopita sisi kama Wakenya tunanunua mafuta ya kupika chakula kwa nchi za ng'ambo. Ukijaribu kuangalia pesa ambayo tunatumia kununua mafuta ya kupika chakula ni pesa nyingi sana serikali yetu inatumia kulete mafuta ya kupika chakula. Ndiposa wakati serikali yetu kuu Mheshimiwa Rais aliposema ya kwamba ama wale ambayo wanaangalia mambo ya farming wameona ya kwamba tuko na rutuba nzuri hapa hasa kwa Narok County na kwingineko kwa Kenya, ambapo tukipea farmer seeds waweze kwenda kupanda, haina haja tena tulete ama tununue mafuta ya kupika chakula kwa nchi zingine. Na ndiposa mnaona leo tuko hapa kupea farmers waende waweze kupanda, ili hiyo mafuta tuweze sisi wenyewe kutoa hapa kwa kaunti yetu ya Narok na kwa Kenya kwa jumla. Na nafikiri nyinyi wote mnakubaliana na sisi ya kwamba sisi Narok County sisi ni wakulima. 70% ya watu hapa ni wakulima. Na tumefurahia sana hii program, na hii program watu wamechukulia kwa hamu sana, wakitaka kujua kama labda hii itakuwa ni moja za zile crops ambazo tunapanda hapa Narok. Mnaona tunakuanga na mahindi, tunakuanga na ngano, tunakuanga na bali, tuko na viazi, vyakula vyote. So nafikiri hii program sisi tutaendelea kusensitize farmers ya kwamba hii ndiyo njia mwafaka ambayo tunaweza pia kupata pesa kupitia sunflower. Pia ile kitu ambayo pia tumefurahia kama kaunti ya Narok ni kwamba sunflower ukishatoa mafuta hile, then unaachwa na zile suckers ambayo naye pia ni nzuri kwa wanyama zetu, ng'ombe, mbuzi, kondoo. Tunaweza pata hiyo pia kama part of the feedlots ama feeds kwa wanyama wetu. Na sisi tumekufurahia sana hii, na leo nafikiri farmers wengi wetu wataendelea, kwa sababu karibu tu tuanze kupata mvua. Wakati huu ndio tunapata mvua ile ya short rains, alafu long rains inakuja around March, na nafikiri tutaendelea kuhamasisha wakulima wetu waweze kupanda sunflower. Asanteni
sana kwa kuja kuintroduce hii kazi ya sunflower. Ndio tupate kuwa na kitu ambaye kama hatupandi ngano tunapanda sunflower. Sunflower kama vile rafiki yangu amesema ilikuwa inapandwa hapa Narok zamani na ilikuwa inafanya vizuri. Na vile amekueleza tunataka tujue kama sunflower tukishapanda ni harvester gani itavuna. Unajua hiyo hakikisho ndio tunataka. Tusije tukapanda kitu alafu ikiiva tukose kitu ya kuvuna. Ile challenge bwana governor tunaye na CS wetu wamejaribu ni challenge ya ndege. Wakulima wametuambia sisi tukiwa wakulima tukufikishie ujumbe na tufikishie serikali kuu kuwa kama haitawezekana kuua ndege itakuwa vigumu kwa sisi kulima mwaka ujao. Kwa hivyo hiyo maneno mnataka mchukue maanani, maana mkitupatia fertilizer umetusaidia, tumepata fertilizer, tunashukuru manager sana maana tumepata fertilizer in time. Lakini kama tukipata hizo vitu zote na ndege ije imalize chakula, tutakuwa tunafanya nini? Bwana gavana tunakuomba, sisi hatusumbuage wewe. Ujue ndege ndio changamoto tunaye. Saa hizi watu wa MILLIE ni vile wajajua unakuja hapa leo. Wangekuwa wamefika hapa na wako na shida. Saa hizi huko MILLIE mimea inavunwa nusu na ndege na nusu wanavuna. Kwa hivyo tafadhali fikishia serikali kuu hii changamoto.